People don't need to be saved or rescued. They need knowledge of their own power and how to access it. This is where science and spirituality meet.
Join us as we deep dive into topics and share tools to empower yourself along your soul's journey. Hi everyone, I'm here with Wendy for another episode of Deep Dive Soul Talk. We are going to roll out in this episode of Your Energy. We want to give you some insight into understanding it. For instance, what is the energy that is presented in you from the inside out and how that shows up?
It's our mindset, our thought processes, how we react to certain situations. Are we blocked? Are we in flow? How are we showing up with work?
Right.
How are we showing up in relationships? Are we holding on to things? It's connecting to this new state of mind and body. When you think of an entrepreneur mindset, there's routines, habits, mindset, there's beliefs, there's how are we treating our body? Are we exercising? Are we putting good food in our body?
Right.
All of this affects our energy.
It absolutely does. And I think let's talk about actionable steps, actionable tips to create a new state of mind, a new body. If you think about your emotions, for instance, that's energy in motion, right? Emotion. They are a direct reflection of your life. Think of them as your attractor field.
When we deflect our emotions or we're not honoring our emotions, then they get stuck and trapped in our body. Suppressed emotion causes dis-ease. When we keep this energy stuck in our body or these emotions that we're not processing, then we can turn around and lash out on people. We could not be showing up the way we want to.
The word depress, that's the root word for depression. So when you're suppressing emotions, you're depressing yourself. And people will say, oh, I have an outbreak like a skin rash or welts or something like that. Those aren't all allergy related. That's emotions playing out.
If this energy is blocked, it's going to cause disease or you're going to get sick. Your immune system gets weaker.
Right.
When our energy is in lower states, that's what happens.
Yeah.
And like how you were saying earlier, how it is a reflection. It is. It's the same in feng shui with our homes. Our homes also mirror our lives. And that's how we're able to detect what areas are affected. And the body, our mind, our souls, they all can be affected by energy. Our computers, our cell phones, satellite towers, all of these affect our energetic field. We have north, south, east, west, these energetic poles. And then we have our astrological force from our sun, our planets, stars. All of this has an effect.
Right.
And understanding our energy in relation to this really can help you free a lot of that negativity that's stored.
I was just thinking when you said about feng shui, for instance, a blocked doorway, right? That is super bad in feng shui. Here's an example of a blocked doorway. You have these papers in the doorway piling up at your doorstep. And first 2 days you see these papers. I got to pick up those papers the next time I walk in. But they just keep building up. Mail or the paper person keeps throwing papers at the door. It just piles up. Now boxes. Anything that clutters, that could play out as another example in your energy. You could have a blocked throat. You could not be able to speak up for yourself. So really your belief system, here's another one, not only your emotion, but what you believe, what you think about, what you ruminate about, how does that show up in your life? Do you have good, healthy flow of thoughts? Do you wake up and know you're going to have a great day, or you might have to deal with some obstacles, but you're going to make it through and you're going to watch the sunset, you're going to have a nice life.
Belief systems come with how we were raised, how we were brought up, what religions we had, traditional things, family dynamics, your relationship dynamics. There's so much that stems from the childhood with our belief system.
And that makes me think about whether you consciously do something or unconsciously do something. Here's an example of a negative belief system. I don't know why. It's always been done that way in our family, right?
We have to do it this way because this is our tradition. These are things that might not be in alignment with us that we hold on to that can store negativity.
Another unconscious thing is if you get frustrated and instead of saying to somebody or talking it out to yourself, hey, I'm really frustrated, this is really getting me, instead of doing all that, you just blow your top and scream at people, and they're like, what is wrong with this person? So that's an unconscious way that your energy would show up versus the conscious way. Hey, I'm going to talk myself through this. I'm going to speak up if I'm not happy with something, or I need something to change, or a boundary's been crossed and I need to stand up for myself. That's a conscious way.
It's this mind versus heart, because some people you just can't change. But honoring our energy of, hey, this makes me feel this way. How am I going to consciously handle this? Because I could handle it in a negative way. I could handle it in this way. So it's kind of like this mind versus heart. Right. Tapping into more of the heart energy, which requires more feeling. A lot of people spend a lot of time, effort, and money and deterioration of their body through drinking and drugs, trying to avoid that. All of that is suppressed energy that is holding you back. Once you're able to release some of that and come into alignment more with handling these kinds of things, it raises your energy. You find the truth in things and the root of these things. You're able to find your inner power. When we find our inner power, our energy raises, and then we start making better decisions that lead to a healthier life.
And I don't know about anybody else out there, but I choose to be a heart-centered being. And what I mean by that is, am I going to live from the neck up, from my head up, let the mind run the show? No. Your heart always knows. When you ask somebody, hey, how do you feel? Have you ever noticed they'll touch their chest? That's being a heart-centered being. That's intuitively your body, your energy field knows what you want, knows what's out of alignment. So if you always choose heart over mind, you will be in the flow. It'll definitely be that truth, your inner power, and it does raise your energy.
Every bit of it lies in the heart. A lot of people, our poor minds, our ego, as it's referred to, gets a lot of bad rap, that it's this evil thing, but we need our minds. We need our egos in this world, because if we're just living in our heart all of the time, we live in a harsh world.
And that could be, you'd leave yourself wide open, not protected.
Our mind, 9 times out of 10, talks us out of so many things, doesn't it? Our mind gets in our way. And when we allow that, that's what we call the rabbit hole. And the rabbit hole is so easy to go in. And once you're in that rabbit hole, your energy is low. Things can be learned in that rabbit hole.
That's a good point.
We need to honor our energy. It's okay if you're upset by something. How we respond, how we react is a different manner.
Right.
It's okay to be upset, angry, hurt. Honor those feelings, because if you don't, they stay stuck in the body.
And a lot of times when we're trying to get to that balance, it's almost like, think about a car. You're overcorrecting by saying, I'm not going to think about that. I'm not going to behave in that way. I'm not going to do all these things. And create a better baseline. Honor what's coming up, not try to push it away or suppress it or depress it, because you'll come up with that mirror effect every time. So above, so below.
The mirror effect is how you treat other people and how you roll in the world is a reflection of how you feel inside of yourself. So when that person is on the road with road rage, a lot of it is just a reflection of how they're feeling inside about themselves.
And those refer to that as you have a belief system, and if it's not healthy and unchecked, it can turn into a negative personality trait. Like, what is wrong with that guy? He's a road rager. Every time he gets in his car, you better get off the road.
And we can live in that state of flipping them off back, but then that's just a mirror reflection of us. And we don't need to create more of that energy, because energy is really everywhere and in
everything.
This is how energy shows up in our interactions. And going back to our body, some helpful ways that we can process these emotions in a more healthy way to evolve our energy and raise the vibration of our energy. That's manifestation. And that doesn't mean just stay in a high vibe state, because that's not helping anything. Then that causes storage in the body, and you're just spiritual bypassing.
I was just thinking.
Journaling's another good one. Get those emotions out on paper.
It's
exactly
huge.
how you would say it.
Such a release.
It gets it out of the body, and that's so important. You can get a massage, do Reiki, do yoga, dancing.
Yeah.
Just turning on the music and moving the body.
Yeah.
Crying is a really good way of releasing energy. And you always feel better once you've had one of those really good cries. Kind of feel like something's been released.
It's a biochemical release, and is the science of tears. What do they say? Over 80% of all communication is nonverbal. Imagine you couldn't speak and you were in the observer role watching yourself act out whatever is going on. Or see it in another, right?
You can feel the power and the presence of certain people. When someone's in their empowered state, you can feel that. When that person walks in a room, that's feeling other people's energy. Another way energy can show up, to give an example, is there's people that you just jive with right off the bat, and there are certain people you just don't like. That's the energy that you're feeling.
Or I don't have a good feeling about this.
Or you know what, something's telling me just not to go there.
Right.
You know, it's that energy that you're feeling of that.
Or you're not anticipating someone's arrival, like, oh boy, here they come again. Or, wow, I can't wait to see that person. Pay attention more to your baseline. Where is it? Does it need course correcting to make you feel more in a line, to release things, again, that no longer serve you, and just bring you back to balance? It definitely is a way to pivot and level up to a higher vibration.
And a big part of that starts with just taking some time to deep dive with yourself.
I love that.
And being able to look at yourself raw, take a look in the mirror, face the truth and what your own inner truth is, and what you can do to align. I call it that 5.0 version of you. Where are you at right now? What does that high vibe 5.0 version look like? And what's the one little step that you can take to align your energy to that 5.0 version of yourself?
I was just thinking that one little step. Don't think of what we're saying like, are you kidding? I can't do this. I wouldn't even know where to begin. But awareness and that one little step builds onto another little step. Take it simple and slow.
We have so many helpful tools that we are going to be sharing in upcoming episodes, and how you can understand your energy more, how you can understand other people's energy, the energies of your environments, how this shows up, how you can raise your consciousness and raise your energy.
So you're taking those simple steps and building on them little by little, not looking at the whole big picture. That can be daunting sometimes, but if you take it little step at a time, you've got it. And that's the way you deep dive.
Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next episode of Deep Dive Soul Talk. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.